Okay, but seriously, do you think that lo-fi beats get a bad rap, or do you think that the way that people talk about them is justified?
I mean, I still like in my brain try to understand what it really means. Like, is it because I mean, all right, I'll be somewhere. Like, for instance, I was at this like golf simulator place, and they'll be playing, very generic music. And I heard this beat that was like basically a remake of Pete Rock and CO In the House, which is the first song on Main Ingredient.
Yeah.
But it was just so whack. Like all the parts of the Pete Rock thing that I liked, they ruined it. You know what I mean? It's like a dude just scratching. There's hella sirens, and it's like, but why are we just remaking something that didn't need to be remade? Like it's great in its own way. It doesn't need to be touched. Right. I know, like they say, like Dilla's the godfather of like lo-fi beats, but like his shit was funky, and this shit ain't funky. So like
I've watched a bunch of like videos and documentaries explaining and read articles explaining, the origin of lo-fi hip hop and how lo-fi hip hop is made and all that shit. And like, it's over explaining a thing that doesn't really need that much explanation at the end of the day. But if I had to like summarize it, it's just a bunch of kids. I won't say kids. It's a bunch of people making the simplest version of a thing. Like, I won't say it doesn't require skill, but it's definitely like, just get a Splice membership and you can make a beat type of deal.
Well, and I think there's this part where like people love to like take something that was already done and then like reframe it. And basically it's like 90s jazz rap without rappers.
Yep.
And then somehow that makes it more artistic, which is some bullshit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it just is. I do like find it funny that like there's like my daughter likes anime a lot, and she's playing me like one of the themes. It might have been from Demon Slayer, and they had a lo-fi version of the theme song, and it was kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, it was like it wasn't bad.
I mean, I've absolutely put on like a lo-fi beat channel before and just listen to it. The thing, it's so
what part of it makes you study better? That's the part I don't get. I mean,
I think that it gives you something to aggressively ignore so you can focus harder on another thing. I don't know, but they're like, again, it's a bunch of people over explaining shit, but they talk about like scientific studies and how it affects a part of your brain. And like, it's just a bunch of people selling you it's like snake oil. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I mean, the crazy thing is there's probably dudes that are making these like generic lo-fi beat things that are racking up like millions and millions of plays, getting a gold record on Spotify with a, terrible remade Pete Rock beat or some shit, which is just insane to me.
Here's the other thing. You probably can't, but I was gonna say, do you know the name of any like big lo-fi beat producer? Like the genre doesn't really have a face.
I'll even take it further. I don't know the name of anybody that doesn't make songs that I don't like. So like, right. There's a whole generation of guys that like exist in like 1 minute clips on Instagram where dudes playing like cello, piano, guitar, drums, and it all fits together in this thing. But I'm like, but what song did you make? That's the thing that's gonna live forever. Your Instagram clip ain't.
So a lot of those, I've started looking up those producers. Like I see producers like that out,
and it should be good too. I'm not dissing. The shit is good, shit is
funky, but it's just
like you gotta make a song.
I think that there's this thing that happened where actually good musicians just started making content. Like instead of making the song first and then figuring out how to promote it, they promoted something first and didn't figure out how to make it into a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a little backwards, but it's the thing about lo-fi that's fascinating is that from what I've learned from these videos, a lot of people, it's not a track to notoriety or fame or popularity really, because the way that the distribution channels are set up for it is that you kind of have to be anonymous. Like the YouTube channels that are the big conduit spaces for it, they credit you, but nobody's like stopping YouTube to say, oh, what's this? It's all one long 5-hour beat. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not stopping at 3 hours and 29 minutes and be like, what was that? You're just letting that shit ride. You know what I'm saying?
What? Oh, yeah, it's a wild concept. I felt the same way like when instrumental rap kind of started in the I guess that'd be like mid to late 90s. To me, it's like very similar to that in that it's like, can we just strip rappers, aka black people, out of
Yeah.
this? So it's a little more comfortable for people that, don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, like it reminds me of how they would take the rap verses out of R&B records on the radio, shit like that. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I just heard fucking Waterfalls the other day, and they took Lisa Left Eye, and I'm like, she's in the group. What are you doing?
Damn. Yeah, they took her out. That's cold blooded. I could see if like you're like, yeah, let me take this Cameron verse from the R&B song out where he says something flagrant. But yeah, that's not the same thing.
So I guess I don't have to ask you if you've ever made a lo-fi beat.
I mean, I feel like I probably made many beats that qualify as lo-fi, but they weren't intended for those purposes, right?
I'm gonna dispel the myth. I'm gonna say you absolutely have, and it's probably because you recorded it to cassette, and that makes it inherently lo-fi.
Oh yeah, well, I could just upload my beat tape from like '98, and we definitely got some Fender Rhodes beats in there, some random horns echoing out. We got all that in there.
You don't need an RC20 plug-in to make the tape hiss. You know what I'm saying? It's just already saturated.
We got all that on deck, from the time, like every once in a while I'll be like, man, let me try to just make a beat like I used to. And I'm kind of surprised I can still do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
But there probably is something missing because I'm just not listening to that thing anymore.
Yeah. Again, you travel through life, you get new experiences and new inspirations, and the things you used to do, I won't say it's not as fun. You're just not as into the process as that process.
Well, I mean, it's like, I'm sure my dad, I remember I playing my dad, like, I know this is random as hell, but I played him like a E-Rule song. It wasn't even the one that was the hit. Was a Synopsis, the B-side. Because I remember thinking like, man, I think I heard you play this song before. And he's like, yeah, I mean, that's cool. It's just, he guys talking on it or whatever, but, I like the original song. I mean, it's probably how I'm going to feel about, somebody making a fake JD beat. Like, I want to hear the real,